to try to find a way to make a material difference, because I've had the pleasure of giving keys to homeowners. And for each homeowner, it's a life-changing event.
My name is Ron Terwilliger.
Incremental progress we can make, we should.
My father named me Jackson Ronald after his boss. I think he was a brown-noser. My father was a working class guy who came to Washington, D.C. at the end of the Great Depression to find a job. And he found a job and he found my mother. Our parents loved us. My mother just doted on us. You know, her whole life was about her boys. And my dad, at night, he would work a second job. He never made a total of 10 grand a year in his life. I mean, times were different back then. My parents bought a house in 1941 for $5,000. And it was a tract house like everybody in the neighborhood. None of us had ever seen a golf course or tennis court or swimming pool. We didn't have access to any of that. But it didn't matter. It was just such a simple, confident life. We didn't feel threatened by anything. We were able to go to good public schools, have a lot of neighborhood friends, and had two supporting, loving parents. That got me to college. I was captain of the Navy's basketball team and an academic All-American my last year. When I was at the Naval Supply Center in Norfolk, I applied for the Harvard-Stanford MBA program. Harvard admitted me, and I went on my own. I took one course at Harvard on real estate that made me think, that's what I want to do with my career. And it just clicked that it made sense to me to figure out we need to find a way to build more affordable rental housing. At the same time, I think it's a disgrace that the richest country in the world has a housing crisis. So few people, including Congress, understand how desperate so many Americans are. There are so many American families that don't have enough income to afford rental housing, much less transition to home ownership. And, you know, we have so many low-income families that are forced into neighborhoods where the schools are poor, they don't have access to health care or transportation to get to jobs. How can a family grow and prosper if they don't have a home that they can afford? It's foundational for family growth. The 1949 Housing Act, this country said it was an aspirational goal for every American family to have a decent home and a suitable living environment. But we're so far from that goal. BPC is the right organization addressing a nonpartisan issue. The bipartisan approach to solving it is what needs to happen. You know, I came, as I have said, from a very modest beginning. I had no expectations, and when I became 55, I was wealthy by anybody's standards. And I thought to myself, what is my responsibility with this wealth? I concluded that I would take my wealth and try to make the world a better place from a housing standpoint. When I gave keys to a family that took ownership to a house, it was such a life-changing event for that family that I never forgot it. I continue to want to try to make it a priority in this country and across the world.